Okay, here we go. I am throwing my hat in the ring of classic WoW content creation. There's so many of us. But you know what? No one's talking about this, so I'm going to make a video and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to ramble on here, so bear with me. Yeah, there's a ton of content out there of people talking about classic WoW and why it's going to do great and why it's not going to be, why it's going to be way better than retail WoW and all these little nuanced things of why, here's the main difference between this and I think those are all just kind of like smaller reasons. I don't know. I feel like there's one huge philosophical reason of why this game, whenever it launches here, is going to do better than retail WoW and probably even surpass it. And that's what I'm going to talk about here today. Whenever I kind of want to start with a question. So if you play retail WoW right now, I want you to ask yourself, what is the reason for your investment into this game? Why are you leveling? Why are you trying to get gear? Like, why are you trying to get a good gear? Why are you trying to get a higher item level? What's the point of all this? What's this, all been for? Now, I think with that being said, the answer to that question of what this is all for retail is different than the answer it was for classic. And that's what I kind of want to talk about here. That's, I think, the main difference. Now, for classic WoW, the answer to that question, let me backtrack. For retail, I don't think there really is an answer. Why am I doing these world quests? I'm doing it to get good gear. Why am I getting good gear? I'm doing it to, be able to do the raids. And why am I doing the raids? To get good gear. And if you have the best gear, then what? Like, what am I doing? What's this all been for? What am I going to go do pet battles? That's stupid. I don't think the answer to that is what it used to be. I really don't. Now, with classic, this is where I think this is where I talk about the main difference here is that, okay, I know people have talked about community before, but not in the same way. The community of classic WoW being, we're all on the same server, and you see everybody that you've seen since you were leveling. I mean, you could be level 5 1 month, then you're like level 50 2 months later, and, you see that same person you were questing in Elwyn Forest. It was tight, it was a tight community, you knew people, even on the opposite faction you knew different people. So you were doing battlegrounds, and you kind of, if you're just leveling at the normal rate, you're facing the same people that you've seen, on the opposite faction since, 20 levels ago, and you're fighting against them. And that was great. Now how does that all tie in? Is that the reason you're investing this time into classic is because there's a community there to appreciate your prestige, your effort, the time you've put in. So if you get rank 14 in classic and you have the weapon, you have all the gear, you're going in battlegrounds and you're just fucking slaying through everybody, right? Those are people that, like, you've seen before. You know them. You go out to Dole and Duratar or Elwyn Forest, and you see the people that you've kind of progressed with, and they see you with the best gear, and then they can't beat you in a duel, and you're known as the fucking, just the big guns of the server, dude. That was the payoff for the investment of your time. Now look at retail WoW. Without that community in place, there's no reason, even if you got, full 425 or whatever the best gear is now, I can't remember what the item level is, but say you have the best gear on the hardest difficulty, and you walk out into Orgrimmar, you walk out into Elwyn Forest, and no one gives a shit. Why? No one cares. They're just a bunch of nameless faces that you won't see the next day. What? Like, you can invest the time, but who cares if there's no one there to really appreciate it? I mean, I guess you have your guild, but I don't know. It's such a more satisfying payoff when you're on a server of people that you know, and that, can recognize that. Like, okay, even mounts. You get a good mount in retail, say you get one of the hardest mounts to get, I don't know, Invincible or something like that. there's at least 20 other people on your server. There's at least 20 other people in the same zone as you that have that mount. Who cares? You could do it for yourself, but what kind of investment in time is that? Anyways, this is the reason why I think that Classic WoW is going to really kind of bleed subs from, well, I guess they're the same sub, but I think a lot of retail players that used to play pre-Wrath of the Lich King are going to just be playing Classic. Like, I'll still have my retail account, but I want I want people to recognize, I want the community there. Like, okay, here's another thing. Community was so important in Classic WoW. When I was playing back in like 2006, there was a guy on my server. I can't remember what server it was. But anyways, there was a guy on my server. He was an orc warrior, and he was capped in blacksmithing. And his skill or profession level or whatever was capped out. He had all the patterns. He even farmed a lot of the materials. And he was known as the blacksmith of my server. Because he would always advertise in trade chat and be like, blah, blah, blah's blacksmithing services. Come get your lion's heart helm and half my mats for half the price and things like that. He advertised every day, all the time. Like once an hour he would post something saying like, don't forget, your neighborhood blacksmith. And it was funny because even when that dude was offline, people would be like, oh, where's what's his face? I need some blacksmithing stuff done. As if there was no other blacksmith on the server. There was plenty of people that had capped blacksmithing. But he just assumed that role, and the community around him just kind of agreed. They're like, oh, okay, if you need something done, just go over to what's his face. He's always advertising in trade chat. And he was just, I don't think he did Battlegrounds. I don't think he did really anything. He just farmed mats and did blacksmithing patterns for people. And he was our fucking server blacksmith. And that was awesome. Could you imagine that existing in WoW today? That doesn't exist in retail WoW. And what a shame. It's such a shell of the game it used to be. And again, every problem, everything that I'm talking about stems from the root of there's no community. There's no community. It's an MMO. And without the community, without your name mattering, without, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but without the fear of your name being smeared or something like that, like the server ninja, the loot ninja that would just steal shit all the time. Your name mattered, and without that, there's no fucking point of doing anything anymore. I don't know. It's such a shame when I think about it. Thank God we're getting Classic, you guys. I mean, jeez. We have. It's almost May now, so hopefully in a couple months, Jesus, I can't play retail anymore. Because you're playing it and you're thinking to yourself, like I did a Battleground and I was like, oh cool, I got like a new weapon. But fucking, okay, cool I guess, why? Why does it matter? What am I gonna do? Kill the guy that has the same weapon? I don't know, fuck, it's just, if you got 2,700 in arenas in retail WoW, you get what? A cosmetic change to your gear? Which everyone transmogs anyways? Fuck. It's such bullshit. It's just, there's no payoff for my investment into the game. What's the payoff? Why am I doing these raids? What's the point? I can't show it off. I can't do anything. Anyways, God, I've been rambling for 10 minutes now. So yeah, that's what I think is the main difference. And no one really, like, it's all community. Every problem that you see people talking about, oh, there's LFR in retail. Every problem that people have talked about in these other videos of, what's different between Classic and retail, it all stems from the lack of community. Lack of community is the source and summit of the bullshit fountain of retail. That's it. I mean, you can talk about class design. I mean, sure. But if you had the community, class design, it's secondary. It doesn't, like, you could still manage to find, a niche in your class and how it plays and try and, you know, advance that way, but it all, if there's no community, it's meaningless. Everything's meaningless. It's stupid. But anyways, yeah. So sorry to make another classic content video. Like, there's not enough of these. But you know, this has just been a ramble, and I think that everything else is secondary. I do think this is the main problem and the main purpose for everything. So yeah, you know, I hope you guys liked this rant, kind of a rant. I mean, it's just a ramble. Maybe I'll do more of these. I'm sure I'll get a couple views for this. God, I don't want to be another classic WoW content creator, but you know what? It's fun. I enjoy doing this. So yeah, if you guys like this, subscribe, I guess, because I might do more. Maybe. So, yeah. This has been fun. Appreciate you guys listening, and stay tuned.